Peace. That's what Belgium wanted. But we all know, when you get caught in a fight, you get hurt. Welcome to World War II in the Eyes of the Beholder. I'm Matthias. So in previous episodes, we've been talking about the invasion of Norway. We've been talking about Denmark, Norway, all these other invasions. And in them is the invasion of France and the Low Countries. So let's get into it. The invasion of Belgium was a German plan lasting from May 10th to May 28th, 1940. The reason Germany wanted Belgium was it was an easy way to get into France, as it did in the First World War. Kaiser Wilhelm II protruded in from Belgium to France, making it very easy to take parts of France, and could help with air bases for the Battle of Britain. And it could even prevent an American from taking the rest of Europe by constructing and making the Atlantic Wall. That's actually the Atlantic Wall. The Atlantic Wall was a wall running up the west side, I believe, of the west side. You go up from France, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Norway. It was a stronger defensive position so that America or Britain could not attack. So even though Belgium was neutral, as I obviously said in the beginning of the video, just like Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, and though Belgium was neutral and avoiding confrontations and siding with either France or the UK, the Germans attacked anyway. And because the Bulgarians are consistently being picked on, as we've seen by other major powers, and because of its military size and strength, Belgium is very small, making it inevitable that it was going to see trouble as World War I, and especially with Germany. And because Britain and Belgium are good friends at this point, they're right next to each other across the English Channel, Britain does step in. So, but they fought very, very valiantly, with many higher German officers and commanders commenting on Belgium's endurance and willingness to fight to the end. So the German plan to take Belgium and the Netherlands, Belgium and the Netherlands were kind of both in their same way. They had the same route, they were just so small, was to have Army Group B, or the main German attack force, invade straight through the center of both the Netherlands and Belgium. They would then cut them off at the border of France and encircle and squish them until there were no more. The Germans would then proceed from all sides. The forces would then meet up with the German forces invading France. So, unlike other resistance groups, Belgium dug in. They threw very few counterattacks. They made trenches, cement pillboxes in the sides of mountains. It was heavily guarded. Belgium had very few counterattacks because they did not have the strength, and defense was in their favor. They did not have the military or just the willpower to beat back the Blitzkrieg. After the Belgian rearmament on August 25th, 1935, it mustered up 22 divisions, 18 of which were infantry. The Bulgarians had over 6,000 horse-mounted men, and another 600,000 horse-mounted men, and another 900,000 home guard infantry. The other 4 armored divisions consisted of 10 AMC-35 tanks, 200 T-13 tank destroyers, along with 42 T-15 fully tracked armored cars, and around 338 pieces of light and heavy artillery. The French gave custom of the 2nd and 3rd Light Armored Divisions. The 2nd Division consisted of 176 Samoa S-35s, 239 Hotchkisses H-35s, and the 3rd consisted of 90 S-35s and 140 H-35s. So these are really high-tech tanks at this time, but they did nothing, very little. The French landed also 4 infantry divisions, the French 1st, 7th, 2nd, and 3rd Infantry Divisions. They did guard closer to home, more at the Bulgarian French border. They did guard closer to home, and they also, though British and Bulgaria or Belgium are good friends, Britain lent the least amount. The British lent the PEF in 2 divisions, consisted of about 152,000 soldiers. The Bulgarians had about 337 planes, only 118 of which were optional on May 10th, the day Belgium, France, and the Netherlands were attacked. So, with 70 fighters and 10 bombers, of which only 50 were modern aircraft. Many of them were either donated from other countries or were old World War I aircraft. Training planes, other stuff like that. Most of the tanks that Belgium had, they only had very few tanks. Most of them were reinforced or given by other nations. An important battle, the first major tank battle, actually happened in Belgium in 1940, which I will talk about in later episodes. So, in total, from Belgium and landed forces, this is the list of Allied and Axis strengths and casualties. While the invasion of the Low Countries, Belgium, France, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, the Allies had 144 infantry divisions, 14 artilleries, 3,384 tanks, 2,249 aircraft, and the Germans had 141 divisions, 7,300 artillery, 2,445 tanks, and 5,000 aircraft. But that's all for this week. So I'm sorry to I'm sorry to torture you like this, but next week I'll talk about it. So we already know that they resisted very strong. They were very hard to get through, and a lot of German commanding officers said that it was very tough. So the invasion of Belgium was a success for the Germans, and these Bulgarians would live in pain and torture for the next 6 years. you would like to see my other Invasion of Belgium episode, it's going to be a lot shorter. I will put that out in a few weeks. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you can see when I put out new videos, and comment below of any ways that I can improve or any questions that you have. If you have any questions, go to my channel and then go to the community page. There I will read questions. I do read all the comments, so please comment. You know our rules, my rules. Please would you keep the comments nice and considerate. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.